gentlemen, good afternoon. Can I start by thanking Laurent for inviting me to speak at the Press Club? Although I present my organization, I also a member of the board of the Press Club, and we pride ourselves here at this Press Club at being the home of journalists working in Brussels, as well as those visiting our city. And we usually gather here ready to do what the press clubs, as Laurent said, are all about, to promote journalism. And we are here in a fitting way, in my view, to launch this important prize. And may I really commend the European Parliament for the initiative and for launching it here at the Press Club. As Laurent said, I head the Department for Human Rights and Safety at the International Federation of Journalists, based here just a few meters from here. And part of my work, my job, is to compile every year a report of journalists and media staff killed in work-related circumstances. And my organization, the world's largest organization of journalists, has been doing so ever since 1990. And I can tell you that while Europe fares much better than other parts of the world, the situation is getting concerning in Europe. And I will take a few minutes to really speak about that situation right now. We have in our mission statement that there can be no press freedom when journalists live in fear. And that's what we're talking about here today. And I believe everybody would remember where they were on that fateful Monday of October 2017, when the report broke out of the killing of our colleague, Daphne Caruana, in Malta. I do believe, Laurent, if you don't remember, we were here. I was with you on that afternoon, and I had to rush to my office to put up a statement and send an alert to the Council of Europe. Ever since that day, my organization and others have joined the Daphne family to seek justice. Justice not only for the killing of our colleague, but also for what she stood for and that for which she gave her life, and that is journalism. So I just said, since 1990, we have documented over 2,000 cases of killings of journalists across the globe. Last year alone, we had 65 killed in the world. And today, in 2021, we have 16 killed so far. So what is the situation in Europe? As I said, Europe is much, much better. Our colleagues in Europe, thank God, don't fear that midnight knock on the door or indeed an assassin waiting for you when you get home. But it does happen. Over the last 6 years, we have documented 31 cases of killing journalists in wider Europe, not just European Union, the wider Europe, including, of course, the killing of Daphne Caruana. The situation could be worse because we have dozens of colleagues who live in police protection in Italy alone. And if government of Italy had not taken those measures, we would be indeed mourning more colleagues killed just for doing their job. For those of you who may follow these matters, you may know about the Council of Europe and their platform for the promotion of journalism and the safety of journalists. That's an initiative, again, which was launched in 2015, and where, as partner organization with the Council of Europe, we alert the authorities whenever there are violations of journalist freedoms and rights. And just to give you a quick overview of last year's report, because we produced an annual report, just to highlight the safety crisis in media, we have a situation whereby risks and threats to media freedoms are increasing even in Europe, even in the European Union. We have, for instance, documented increased surveillance of journalists, online harassment, intimidation, and reckless rhetoric by people in power or people of influence. So I said, and I want to repeat, the initiative of the European Parliament is a worthy one, and we recommend them for doing that, because we believe that journalism is a public good. Therefore, we need everybody to chip in supporting our colleagues. The support from EU institutions is valuable, and we thank the European Parliament for doing that. Justice for Daphne is both the accountability for her killing, but also the promotion for robust, independent journalism. Daphne Prize sends a very strong message of support, and we thank the European Parliament for taking that initiative, and we look forward to seeing its contribution across the continent. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Ernest. It's my pleasure now to hand over to Heidi Hautala, Vice President and member of the European Parliament. Please.
Yeah, thank you very much. And it's a great day. We've been working for almost 4 years on this prize. Only 1 month after the assassination of Daphne Caruana Galizia, the European Parliament adopted a resolution whereby it was calling for this prize. It was an initiative by 2 Green MEPs, Sven Giegold and Eva Joly, our former colleague, who's also known for her very important prosecutorial work, among other things. But things started to move very much when my dear colleague David Casa entered the Parliament and became a quaestor. So we really started to work together, and would say that I really owe a big praise for David for his efforts, because finally then the decision was taken on the 16th of December 2019. And the 2 of us were very much emphasizing from the very beginning that it must be an award which is chosen by independent actors. And then that's where we are today, the first time the prize will be launched. So we have journalists like Daphne, who have written extensively about corruption, money laundering, organized crime, sale of citizenships, and the various tax scandals. And in this case, the links to Malta and the Maltese government were very clear. I also remember, by the way, Anna Politkovskaya. I invited her to the European Parliament in 2003 when she was not yet as well known as after her death. And she was a very serious journalist who did exactly the same kind of things under war conditions when she was reporting of the wrongdoings and crimes of the Russian forces in Chechnya. So we do have this kind of figures who have people who have really lost their lives, and we have to cherish them with this prize. Because only by supporting freedom of expression and by protecting those who defend freedom of expression will the democratic backsliding and state capture be reversed. And we see a lot of that state capture today. We also see that the countries are harassing and persecuting journalists even outside their territories. This is the case of some exiled journalists who moved to, for instance, from Russia to Latvia. We see this happening in the case of Mr. Protasevich and his colleague, Mr. Putsil, who established an independent, very popular media. And we saw what happened to Mr. Protasevich on his flight from Athens to Vilnius. So indeed, this prize has shown that the Parliament is dedicated to supporting courageous and independent journalism in Europe. And indeed, we can now see that the launching will take place, and we're looking forward to the 16th of October, when unfortunately also it coincides with the anniversary of the murder of Daphne.
Thank you, Mrs. Vice President Hautala. So, Mr. David Casa, please, from the member quaestor of the European Parliament.
Thank you, and good afternoon to everyone. I'm going to start by thanking, first of all, the European Parliament and DigiCom for believing in this project and making it a reality. To other members present, of course, my colleague and dear friend Heidi Hautala, who helped me a lot. We helped each other actually, because we pushed for this prize together since, as Heidi was saying, since the day I was elected as quaestor. And of course, our chair in the Bureau's working group, Otmar Karas, who chaired the special committee, so that we will have this prize come as a reality, really. To Matthew Caruana Galizia, of course, and Daphne's family for being actively involved in the launch of this new project, and of course to the press club for hosting this very important event, and to you journalists. Daphne was a formidable woman. She was also a wife, a daughter, a brilliant mother, but she was also a friend. And thanks to you journalists, we continued to investigate her stories. And now we know much more to what she left when she was brutally assassinated. So thank you for taking up her stories, because we made sure that Daphne was still alive, was still with us through her stories. And this is thanks to you journalists. And after Daphne was murdered in October 2017, the European Parliament, as Heidi was saying, adopted a resolution calling for a prize for journalism named after her. And yes, as soon as I was elected as Quester, I continued with Heidi and with others to make sure that this becomes a reality. And of course, DG Com worked hard to establish the guidelines and to issue the call for interest for a partner organization. And today we are launching this website through which applications would be submitted. Now, the scope of the prize. Yes, I think that the European Parliament wants to give 3 very strong messages. The first message, I think, it is to journalists, that they are not alone in the fight for truth. And to those who kill and threaten journalists, our message is that the European Parliament is their enemy. And the third is to states who suppress free media, that we want to make sure that these states, including European states, that these states will tell that we will not stop fighting to make sure that the freedom of expression is protected and that journalists are protected. Yes, this prize is a fitting tribute to Daphne Caruana Galizia. It is my wish to see her work and bravery continue to inspire journalists now and for many years to come. I encourage all those who worked hard to investigate during this past year to participate in this prize. Of course, this will not be the first and the last prize, but will be awarded every year. Therefore, I think it is an opportunity not to be missed, having the European Parliament recognizing your work for a better Europe, for a more democratic Europe, and above all, for a stronger Europe. Thank you so much for having me here. Thank you for your work. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Casa. Now it's time to connect with Matthew Caruana, online from Malta. There.
Hi there.
Hello, Matthew.
Hi, I can hear you and I think you can hear me, but I can't start my video. It says that you need to enable it.
We can hear you, yes. Thank you. We hear you very well.
Okay, great.
Okay, we see. Oh.
So this is, I mean,
yes.
I was prepared for this. I thought I was prepared for this to be a very emotional event, but it's really difficult because things are still very fresh, and it's kind of, I have to work hard. I have to work hard to hold myself together. But I'd like to start by saying thank you to Laurent and to Ernest for their words, and also to Heidi, and especially to David Casa, who has really fought so hard for this prize to become a reality, and for it to actually have cross-party support. Not just cross-party, but actually to have the support of every political grouping in the European Parliament, which is something incredible, considering how fraught everything has been. In the end, I think that sends a strong signal of legitimacy for the prize, but it also shows how everyone else has said how committed the European Parliament is to fighting for freedom of expression and fighting for justice, actually, in my mother's case. Because in instances where in the past European institutions have been paralyzed due to a lack of mandate or other issues, the European Parliament has actually really stepped up and fought hard to push for justice in my mother's case. And I think that this prize now kind of tops off all that work and was really the single best thing that the European Parliament could have done following all that work it already did to fight for justice. Now, speaking of the future, one of the things that I hope this prize will do is actually to prove my mother wrong, because she thought that the harassment that she endured and all of the abuse and the strategic lawsuits against her, what are called slaps, the libel suits designed to shut her up, she was worried that that would discourage others from not just going into journalism, but also from discourage them from doing the kind of investigative work that my mother was doing. What I hope that this prize will do is to kind of undo that and to encourage other journalists to do the kind of work that my mother did. They're already doing that, but I want them to be encouraged to do more of it. And also to encourage any people who are not currently in journalism to go into journalism and do this kind of work. That would be really, really significant. We need more people to join us in uncovering corruption and fighting abuse and injustice in Europe and beyond. I think that prize would go a long way towards encouraging people to do that. So thank you, everyone. One person I really forgot to mention is Sven Giegold, who also really pushed hard for this prize. Thank you, Sven, if you're listening. And I don't know what else to say. It's just a very emotional event because we've worked so hard to get to this point. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Okay, thank you, Matthew. It will be a time now to give you some complementary information about the prize. So the prize will reward on a yearly basis outstanding journalism, promoting or defending the core principle and values of the European Union, such as human dignity, freedom, democracy, equality, rule of law, and human rights. The prize is open to professional journalism and team of professional journalists of any nationality. They will be invited to submit their stories that have been published or broadcast by a media outlet based in the 27 European Union member states between the 1st September 2020 and 31st August 2021. The winning entry will be selected by an independent jury composed of representatives of the press and civil society from the 27 EU countries, as well as representatives of the main European Journalism Association. The jury, deciding by simple majority, will determine the winning entry. Each jury member may vote for one single entry. The authors of the winning article will receive €20,000. The date of the award ceremony will be around the 16th of October, as a symbolic reminder of the date when Daphne Caruana Galizia was assassinated. This year, the winner will be announced at the award ceremony to be held in the European Parliament in Brussels on Thursday, 14 October. This is the prize. Well, now I open the for any question from the audience about the rules, the prize. Just a few, Ernest. No. No, but just for example, we work to select the jury, and few days ago, we sent an invitation to our press club partners, and we in Europe had to join internationally. Allow me to share two positive answers, because I received from Lisbon, Laurent, it will be an honor to the Lisbon Press Club to accept that in homage to Daphne Caruana Galizia. I received orders from Cyprus, from Poland. Vienna said the Concordia, the oldest press club of Europe, Concordia strongly supports the idea of the prize as well as naming it after Daphne, and is honored to be part of the jury. Thank you for inviting us. As I told you, it will be a great honor for all the press clubs in Europe and European Journalists Association to be part of this initiative. And well, they really appreciate it to be member of this jury.